Ladies and gentlemen, we are back on 6 for 6 for another edition. It's great to be back. We had an interesting week last week with our picks and our record. Obviously, we didn't do so hot. We went 3 for 3, ladies and gentlemen, in our picks. As you can see, we're doing okay starting in 2024. Not the best overall picks, but hey, we're getting close to 500. So far in 2024, we are 5-7 in our picks. Yes, we're getting back in the swing of things of selecting great picks and be able to get the historical 6-0 in our picks. We've only done it once, and that was in season 2, but in season 3, we're doing ebbs and flows. Yes, we got MI6 tuning in. The Niners are the team of destiny, and the Buffalo Bills are secondary. And then in the Super Bowl, we have the Niners and Bills in the Super Bowl with I'm guessing the Niners winning it, ladies and gentlemen. But before we get to the Super Bowl and all that picks, we got to worry about this week and this week alone. So without further ado, let's give you our overall season record for season 3, which is for our picks is 31, 26, and 2. So great records going into season 3, keeping up that momentum, having that winning record. And so far, we will see where it goes. But first off, we got to start off with some NBA action, Friday night hoops. So let's begin tonight's program. 6 slot, ladies and gentlemen. We have Mavericks Warriors Friday, January 19th, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific time on ESPN. Ladies and gentlemen, the Warriors have been struggling the last 5 games. They have only beaten the Chicago Bulls in that 5-game span. However, if you look at the Dallas Mavericks, they are 3-2 in their last 5 games. The only similar opponents that they faced in the last 5 games was the Memphis Grizzlies, and they both lost respectively. So the Memphis Grizzlies against the Mavericks was 120-103. For the Warriors, it was 116-107. So as you can see, the Memphis Grizzlies kind of put the teams in place and made them check and balance themselves out. But if you look at, the Mavericks record this season, it's not bad. It's 24-17 with a road record of 11-8. And then if you look at the Warriors, they're 18-22. So the Warriors are in a rocky start this season. It's not looking great, but they can easily swing it around and build up momentum to snap this 2-game losing streak that they're currently on. Definitely going to be improvements. But if you look at the ESPN percentage of winning for that game on Friday night, they have the Warriors with a 63% chance of victory over the Mavericks. I just don't like that number. The Mavericks, like I said, in their last 5 games have been putting in the work, but obviously a lot of those games have been close. I can see the Mavericks losing it based on their percentage of a 36% chance of victory, but I'm giving it to the Mavericks. I just think that the Warriors are just a little bit washed up. I don't think they got it what they used to be. Yes, they have, Chris Paul, Curry, and Draymond with his suspension. You got Klay Thompson. They got players, but it's not the same Warriors team that we all know. Now, don't get me wrong. This Warriors team will be able to find a way to slip into the playoffs. But for the Friday night on January 19th, I think the Mavericks will take care of business just based on the Warriors' home record stand of 11-11. So I'm giving it to the Mavericks on this one. Next up in the 5th slot, more NBA action. Nuggets Celtics. I think this, ladies and gentlemen, here is a pre-taste of what a possible NBA Finals could be. I don't know if it's going to be it, but it's very possible that this NBA Finals could happen between the Nuggets and Celtics at some point in this, season. I think what the Celtics have to do? To me, the Celtics have what it takes to be an NBA Finals champion and reach the NBA Finals. Nuggets, going for that defending championship, going back to back, definitely very critical in their success. But if you look at the Celtics homestand, they are 19-0 at home. I don't think you can bet against something like that when you have a team that's on a historical streak of 19-0 at home for the Boston Celtics. So I benefit for the doubt. I'm giving it to the Celtics this dub. I don't think you can bet them against when you have a team that is hot like the Celtics with a homestand of 19-0. Now, if you look at the record this season, the Celtics are 31-9. What a great stuff. All their losses have been on the road. But that home court dominance, it will come back in the playoffs when they need it the most, and the odds are stacked up against them. That home court advantage, Game 7 in the Garden, is all you really need to know. For the Nuggets, rough start in the season. 28-14. Their away record is 11-10. Just not looking great. Their percentage of winning this game is about 31%. And the Boston Celtics almost a 69% chance to win this game. I got to give it to the Celtics. So you can catch the Nuggets Celtics Friday night, January 19th, 7:30 p.m. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Time on ESPN. And I have the Celtics winning it. Now we're going to go into the NFL Divisional round. So I kind of put the rankings on how I view these games, of which games that are key and pivotal to watch if you choose to watch some of these divisional rounds in the NFL. So starting off, Texans-Ravens, Saturday, January 20th, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 1:30 p.m. Pacific Time on ESPN, ABC, and on ESPN+. C.J. Stroud, the man of the hour, the guy who's putting up numbers that are unheard of in the playoffs already so far, put the Browns in their place. The Browns struggled in that game. It was 45-14. Now you look at the Ravens. They had a nice bye, clinching the number 1 seed. But can Lamar come out and play off of this bye? That is the question. See, I know C.J. Stroud and the Texans they have nothing to lose. They're the team that, no one is going to worry about. They have nothing to fight for. But that's the most dangerous team in the playoffs, a team that is doubted, and when no one gives it a chance, that's when upsets happen. That's what we saw for the Browns. They got upset. Even though the Browns had injuries and all that stuff, no one didn't think the Texans were going to win Wild Card Weekend. I think people were counting them out. But CJ came out, put up good numbers, and I think that's all you can ask from CJ Stroud. Now, he got the check box, rookie season, get a playoff victory. Now, can he take off the MVP of Lamar Jackson? I think he can do it, but I just think Lamar Jackson has to prove the naysayers wrong, go out and win the NFL, AFC Championship game, put the Ravens in the playoffs. Not in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl. I think that's his mission. Yes, if he can win league MVP, that's great, but I think it's him getting to the Super Bowl to prove the naysayers wrong about him being, not your standard typical quarterback. So if he can go out and do it, this is a stepping stone to put them in the right direction. So I'm going to give the Ravens the benefit of doubt. If you look at their home record this year, the Ravens are, 6-3 at home in this game alone, it's like an almost 82% chance of victory. So I'm going to give it to them. So I'm going to give it to the Ravens to win this game. So next up, ladies and gentlemen, we got a comment coming in. MI6 says Vegas knows that the Texans are going out. Yes, I think we all know that as well, but we can't doubt it because anything is possible in the NFL. Next up, we got the Packers-Niners Saturday, January 20th, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:15 p.m. Pacific Time on Fox. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the 49ers. Like MI6 says, the team of destiny. I don't think the Niners are the team of destiny because, yes, you have Brock Purdy being injured, but my terminology for the team of destiny is overcoming tragedy, and that's how you become the team of destiny. You have to overcome the odds, and then you eventually become the team of destiny. The fate, the stars have aligned to give you that shot, that one opportunity. But I think the Packers just got lucky. They put the Cowboys in their place. The Cowboys choked as usual. But I am definitely got to give it to Jordan Love. He went out, put the Cowboys in their place. The Green Bay Packers D stood tall, held Dak and CeeDee Lamb at bay, which was phenomenal for them. Like, if you look at that score alone, the score at the end doesn't make it justice how dominant the Packers were at the start of that game. The score doesn't do it justice at the end. But then when you look at the 49ers, their home record is 5-3. But if you look at the chance of winning this game, the Niners have a 78% chance of victory. I got to give it to the Niners. I don't think you can bet against this dominant team that we've seen thus far in their record. So, yeah, we're going to give it to the Niners. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Detroit Lions. This is a solid playoff game. Teams, the storylines behind it, with Baker Mayfield in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, taking them to the playoffs, maybe even to the Super Bowl. Anything is possible with this team. One of these teams is going to give it to the NFC Championship game, which is going to be thrilling to watch. I hope it's the Lions The city has been going through so much, losing season after losing season, and now they brought Jared Goff in and put it in something special. And I think they can do it. I think they can beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and put them in the NFC Championship game for the first time in a long time. So I think this is going to be great. I feel the Lions have it in them. It's going to be close, but Lions at home in this scenario are the better team. They are 6-2 at home. I don't think you can bet against when odds like that are high. When you have a home record that is close to 500, it can go either way. That just depends on what team you get showing up. But the Lions have just been dominant. Like, literally, if you look at their last 5 games, yeah, their only loss was the Cowboys, and that was by 1 on a controversial call. So, besides that, they're basically strolling through, putting teams in their place. And, yes, they beat the Rams in a hard-fought victory, 24-23, but that's the momentum they need. They need to get over their hurdle and do something special because this Lions team is something that other Lions teams haven't or successful to do. And I think this Lions team can get to this NFC Championship game. Do I think they can win it? I don't think so, but it would be great to see the Lions in the Super Bowl, and it would be something crazy because 2024 has already been off to a crazy start with Nick Saban retired, Bill Belichick leaving the Patriots, and Pete Carroll not being part of Seattle. It's just a crazy year. And just to add on top of that, the Lions in the Super Bowl, hey, just make 2024 even more chaotic. So let's have the Lions win this game. So I have the Lions. You can catch the Buccaneers Lions Sunday, January 21st, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 p.m. Pacific Time on NBC. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, the game of the week. We all know it. Chiefs, Bills, the game that everyone is going to be talking about for years to come. This is going to be a classic game. The Chiefs coming out of the frozen tundra of Arrowhead Stadium with Patrick Mahomes' helmet being cracked. Then the Bills, game being moved to Monday because too much snow in the Buffalo region. This, ladies and gentlemen, temperature, I would say at kickoff is looking out on the lines of 20 degrees. So it's not as bad for what Kansas City has gone through. So cold is not a factor in this one. They're both cold tested, both battle tested in the cold. So that argument goes out the window in this scenario. But, ladies and gentlemen, the team that I am most concerned about, that we have similar commonality, there's a couple. We have the Dolphins, that these teams have both played. And then the cold, the Chiefs dominate 26-7. But if you look, when the Bills played, it was 21-14. So the Bills, you don't know what Bills team you're going to get. That's what I'm worried about. Can Josh Allen do it? But when he does it, will the Bills defense step up and keep Patrick Mahomes at bay? We've seen time and time again, the Bills go up against the Chiefs. They find a way to choke and lose this game. It's painful to watch. Will Josh Allen get over this hurdle? It's literally blocking him from getting to the Super Bowl. There's so many times that the Bills have been close to reaching that Super Bowl, and then they hit the Chiefs, and then they lose, and it's just bad for Josh Allen's career. Now, when you have another team that they've played close against, you have the New England Patriots. Chiefs played 27-17. When the Bills played 27-21. Again, it's the Bills defense that's giving me head scratchers. But then when you look when these teams played the Chargers, the Chiefs beat the Chargers 13-12. And if you look at the Bills, 24-22. So what's going on in this picture? What is going wrong in this picture that these teams are struggling against the Chargers, who had a weird year with Justin Herbert going down with their injuries left and right? Their defense was solid as still, but too many close games that the Chargers were known for. It's just going to be very, very interesting to see what Josh Allen does. Literally, we are putting him as a lower tier quarterback in the top 5 scenario because he can't beat Patrick Mahomes. Like, you have other quarterbacks like Joe Burrow, who has beat Patrick Mahomes many times already, but Josh Allen can't seem to do it. And that's what I'm saying. Obviously, it's not at Arrowhead. So if it was at Arrowhead, you could give the Chiefs more of an edge, but the Bills are at home. Patrick Mahomes hasn't really been on the road much in the playoffs too much. So this is where the Bills can try to capitalize in this game. They have a great home record this season with 7-2 and then in this game they have a 56% chance of victory, which is very high in this game, but at the same time it's really a coin flip. It's how much time is left in the fourth quarter and how much the Chiefs are either trailing or up by, and can Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes put the game away. That's all it is. It's who comes to the ball with the last possession of the ball and how the score is looking. That's really going to how this game is going to be decided. But you can catch this game, Chiefs Bills, Sunday, January 21st, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time on CBS. And I have the Chiefs winning it just based on the Bills' record alone against the Chiefs in recent years in the playoffs. Yes, I understand it's different teams, but I just don't think the Bills have what it takes to get it over. If I saw more of a chance that Josh Allen was beating Patrick Mahomes, yeah, then I give the Bills, a home field advantage in the playoffs. But I don't see it. So I'm going to give it to the Chiefs on this one. So let's get you a quick recap and we'll conclude tonight's program. So back NBA action Friday night, Mavericks Warriors, January 19th, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Time on ESPN, and I have the Dallas Mavericks winning it. Next up, we have the Nuggets Celtics, Friday, January 19th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Time on ESPN, and I have the Celtics winning this one. Next up, we have Texas Ravens, Saturday, January 20th, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 1:30 p.m. Pacific Time on ESPN Plus, ABC, and ESPN. So you can catch, and I have the Ravens winning it. Next up, we have Packers Niners, Saturday, January 20th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:15 p.m. Pacific Time on Fox, and I have the Niners winning it. Next up, we have the Buccaneers Lions, Sunday, January 21st, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 p.m. Pacific Time on NBC, and have the Lions winning it. And last but not least, the game of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Chiefs, Bills, Sunday, January 21st, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time on CBS, and I have the Chiefs winning it. Let me just recap with our record, and we'll get you on out here for tonight. So our 2024 record is 5-7. I think we're going to get over, having a losing record into the winning record again, and it's going to be great. Last episode, we went 3-3, so we made an improvement compared to episodes ago when we went 2-4. So definitely we're turning it around, and it's going to be great. And our overall record for season 3, ladies and gentlemen, is 31-26-2. Without further ado, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We had 2 viewers tune in, which is fantastic. Definitely making some new improvements on 6 for 6. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you here next week on 6 for 6. So long for now. Bye-bye.